The Halal Times, the voice of Ummah. In a shocking incident that has stunned animal rights advocates and humanitarians alike, Israel has reportedly killed hundreds of Nile crocodiles at an abandoned farm in the occupied West Bank, without even notifying the farm's owner. The farm, located in Petzael, an illegal Israeli settlement in the Jordan Valley, was home to hundreds of Nile crocodiles, a species protected under the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species. For over 20 years, the farm was run by Israeli businessman Gadi Bitan. It once thrived as a tourist attraction in the 1990s, later converting into a commercial crocodile skin farm. But after tourism collapsed after the year 2000, the gates closed to visitors. On Sunday, officials from the Israeli Civil Administration and the Nature and Parks Authority arrived without warning. They drained the pools, shot the crocodiles, and used bulldozers to collect and bury their bodies in an undisclosed location. It was an execution, plain and simple. These animals were in good health, well-fed, and no serious accident was ever reported, Gadi Bitan said. Bitan says the farm housed 800 crocodiles and claims all were executed. Israeli authorities, however, insist the number was 262, alleging that many had already died from poor conditions. Kogat, the Israeli Defense Ministry body that manages civil affairs in Palestinian territories, justified this action by saying the reptiles were starving, had turned to cannibalism, and posed a significant risk to humans after several allegedly escaped through broken fencing. Kogat claims they had spent 12 years seeking a solution and that the farm's fencing was never repaired despite repeated warnings. They also allege that Bitan has demonstrated a lack of cooperation in their repeated attempts to contact him regarding the fencing and animal care. Additionally, they claimed that despite spending several 100,000 shekels to re-fence the farm, this failed to supply impermeable security. Bitan strongly denied these allegations. "I made sure the place was fenced and that the crocodiles received proper treatment. Nobody was even scratched by these animals. There were some cases when people broke in, but no real damage was caused, and I made sure they were escorted out." However, the owner of the farm presents a different perspective, claiming that he had a previous agreement with Morocco to relocate the crocodiles, which fell through due to war, and was on the verge of finalizing another agreement when the civil administration broke into private property and did as they pleased. Animal rights group Let the Animals Live condemned the executions, calling it immoral, infuriating, and heartbreaking. They pointed out that in 30 years, not a single crocodile had attacked a human being. This culling is part of a broader pattern. Israeli authorities have in the past authorized the executions of various animals, from pigs and dogs to jackals and birds. For many, the incident raises disturbing questions, not only about animal rights and environmental ethics, but also about the unchecked power of Israeli authorities in occupied territories. Whether you feel this was for public safety or a callous disrespect for life, one thing is certain. In Palestine, it appears that not even animals are safe. This is why, despite executing over 60,000 civilians in Gaza, the Israelis show no sorrow for them. Their hunger for further chaos and destruction appears to have no limits. Their viewpoint states that citizens and even animals who belong to Palestine, whether in Gaza or the West Bank, deserve to die. The worst aspect is that shooting innocent Palestinians, whether they be animals, humans, little toddlers and babies, or even trees, is not a crime in their perspective, but rather an honor for which they should be recognized and respected in Israeli culture. At the start of the war, Netanyahu exhorted his citizens to recall a Bible text in which he drew comparisons between the entire Palestinian population and Amalek, arguing that every living individual in Palestine is not only a lawful target, but also a very holy deed directed by God.
You must remember what Amalek has done to you, says our Holy Bible. And we do remember, and we are fighting. Our brave troops and combatants who are now in Gaza or around Gaza and in all other regions in Israel are joining this chain of Jewish heroes, a chain that has started 3,000 years ago from Joshua ben Nun until the heroes of 1948, the Six-Day War, the 73 October War, and all other wars in this country. Our hero troops, they have one supreme main goal: to completely defeat the murderous enemy and to guarantee our existence in this country. We've always said, never again. Never again is now.
And today we see that the entire Israeli government, Israeli civilians, and all pro-Israelis have taken that advice literally and are genuinely acting on that verse of the Torah as directed by the war criminal Netanyahu. That's all for today. If you found the video informative, please like it and subscribe to the channel. Jazak Allahu khairan.